Dale Earnhardt Jr. has just unloaded a bomb on NASCAR. And no, this isn't just another racing legend's opinion. It's a direct blow at how the sport is dealing with one of its most serious legal issues in history. What began as a simple business quarrel has escalated into a full-fledged war. Dale Jr. stated that he does not believe NASCAR's story. Let me clarify. It all begins with the charter system. In 2016, NASCAR introduced a scheme that provided some race teams with a permanent ticket to compete, known as charters. These charters provided stability. They provided value. However, they also triggered a new type of power struggle, because not all teams are being treated similarly. Some people feel stuck, some people feel like outsiders. And a few big teams, including Michael Jordan's 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports, have had enough. For more than a year, they've been battling NASCAR for openness and equal treatment in court. It is not only about money, it is about who will shape the sport's future. And now, just weeks before a major court battle, NASCAR has announced, "We're open to a settlement. We'd like to have a judge-appointed mediator." That seems calm, doesn't it? They seem to be striving to put things right. But Dale Jr. is not fooled. On his podcast, Dale mentioned something that sent shockwaves through the garage. Was this really nothing more than NASCAR going, "By the way, we do want a settlement. Not that we think one's going to happen, but we just want people to know that we're not against a settlement"? That is not a random comment, that's a microphone drop. Dale Jr. calls it what it is, a performance, a public relations move. He says NASCAR does not want to settle. They just want to look like they do. Why? So when this stuff goes to court or is brought up in the public, they can say, "Hey, we tried." It's a classic political tactic. Make it appear like you're the good guy, even if you're not serious about resolving the issue. Remember, this isn't just anybody talking. This is Dale Earnhardt Jr., the son of the Intimidator, the people's voice, and one of the sport's most recognizable figures. When he speaks up, the crowd listens. Insiders take notice. NASCAR starts to sweat. Dale Jr. reiterated the notion that this is all for show, stating, "It's terms, right? We are completely on board with that. I wasn't expecting anything to happen, but I wanted to let the world know." That quote hits home, because it suggests that NASCAR may be playing a game of optics. Say the correct things, look reasonable, but never move the ball ahead. Dale Jr. isn't the only one feeling apprehensive. Michael Jordan, yes, Michael Jordan, the co-owner of 2311 Racing, has also stated that they have always been willing to settle. Why is there no progress despite both sides expressing a desire for peace? Because Dale Jr. has just pulled aside the veil. He is revealing what could be NASCAR's biggest secret in this fight. They are not interested in genuine compromise. They want control. And if it means pretending to try but not actually trying, so be it. Behind the scenes, NASCAR also made a bold legal maneuver. They asked for a summary judgment. Essentially, they're asking the judge to dismiss this lawsuit before it ever goes to trial on December 1st. If it happens, 2311 and FRM's chances are over. No more courtrooms, no more fights, just silence. But get this, they did not do it quietly. NASCAR peppered their motion with statements from other team owners expressing support for the current structure. That's not an accident. That is strategy. It's designed to make it appear that only a few rebels are dissatisfied, while the rest of the garage is content. Another technique to control the story. Another way to state, we're the good guys here. So what does all this mean? This means that the case is about more than just contracts and race entries. It is about power. It's about who has a voice and who is left behind. And with Dale Jr. stepping in and ripping off the mask, NASCAR's next move just become a lot more difficult to make. The deeper we explore, the dirtier it becomes. Just when you thought the charter scandal couldn't get any more twisted, NASCAR made a move that had jaws falling across the garage. They want to replace the mediator. That's correct. Jeffrey Mishkin, a respected former NBA executive with extensive sports law knowledge who has been working on this case for months, is suddenly no longer qualified to represent NASCAR. They want somebody new, someone fresh. But let's be honest, someone who may see things their way. And this isn't just supposition, this is also how 2311 and Front Row Motorsports perceive it. What's their response? Brutal. They responded with the following. Mr. Mishkin has invested a great deal of time learning this case and meeting with the parties. In other words, why would you want to start again unless you're dissatisfied with the current situation? They also put in a statement that truly stings. NASCAR simply does not like the diagnosis, and they are now seeking a second opinion. That kind of claim is not taken lightly. This is not like switching referees during a game. This is someone who has been deeply involved in the case, someone trusted to help both parties find common ground. So now NASCAR wants him gone? That's not just suspicious, it's alarming. Once again, Dale Jr. saw right through it. He's not saying anything directly, but he's connecting the dots in a way that fans can't ignore. It all comes back to perspective, to be in control, to the tail. Because, let's be honest, if NASCAR truly want peace, they wouldn't be disrupting the process so late in the game. They'd get down with the teams, work out solutions, and move the sport ahead. Instead, we get legal maneuvers, public pronouncements, and media spin. So, fans are now asking the actual questions. Who exactly is NASCAR trying to protect? What's their reputation? What about their bank account, or their grasp on power? All of this drama, every lawsuit, motion, and podcast comment points back to one thing: the charter system. When NASCAR launched it in 2016, it was marketed as a way to stability, a strategy for assisting teams in growing, obtaining sponsors, and creating long-term value. And to be honest, it worked. Since then, teams have generated more than $1.5 billion in equity. That is actual worth, real money. However, there is a dark side. That same system has resulted in walls. Teams without charters are left out. Smaller organizations feel stuck. Charter teams are learning that their perceived influence may not be as strong as they believed. This is no longer just a contract disagreement, it's a rebellion. Teams are demanding actual seats at the table, not just flashy names and empty promises. And how is NASCAR responding? It tells us everything. Dale Jr. has no direct involvement in this litigation. He is not an owner in the war, but he's familiar with the sport. He embodies the sport. When he comes in and says, "This isn't what it looks like," people listen. Because what he is actually doing is warning us, telling the fans to pay attention. This might change everything. If 2311 and Front Row prevail, it will not only be a legal victory, it will rock the foundation of NASCAR's commercial model. Teams may want additional power, say more, increased transparency. This ripple could spread to other sports, other leagues. Other owners have been quietly watching, waiting for someone to break through the wall. The next big moment is October 21st. The judge will then rule on NASCAR's motion for summary judgment. If it goes through, the case might end peacefully before Christmas. If the judge says no, the courtroom becomes a new battleground, a public confrontation that might last well into 2026, with every secret tactic and nasty detail exposed. Will NASCAR blink first and then provide a real settlement? Will they stick with the mediator and demonstrate good faith? Or will they continue to play the PR game, thinking the fans won't notice the difference? Too late. Dale Jr. ensured that the curtain is now fully open, the fans are watching, the teams are angry, and the sport is at a crossroads. So what are your thoughts? Is NASCAR simply attempting to preserve face, or are they truly willing to share power with the teams that keep the wheels turning? Please share your ideas in the comments, and buckle up, for this ride is far from over. From